Hi, sixth graders. Sorry I couldn't be at school today. I'm at a teacher training learning new awesome things to bring to our classroom. But even though I'm not there today, I expect you to be on task and work really hard, especially because this is only one of 3 days that you get to work on your project. It's going to be due right before winter break. So I need to make sure that you're focused and trying to get some work done. If you have any questions, feel free to email me and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Butters wants to say hi. Say hi, Butters.
I'm going to be introducing your digital toolbox project. This will be looking back to what we talked about earlier in the week when we discussed the idea of a digital toolbox. And a digital toolbox has a bunch of objects in it that remind us of important rules that we have to follow on the internet. For example, I might have a lock in my digital toolbox, and that reminds me that I need to keep my information safe online with strong passwords. Or I might have a bar of soap in my digital toolbox, and that reminds me that I need to keep what I post clean and appropriate. So it's very similar to what we talked about on earlier in the week. So your mission for this project is to make a project that explains the idea of a digital toolbox. It should explain at least 10 objects that are in your digital toolbox and what they represent. When we did our pic collage, we had 3 objects and we had to explain them. This is similar. We just have to do more objects and we have to do better explanations. The first thing on the website that you're going to look at in a little bit is the resources. These first 2 we covered earlier in class. The next 2 are new. This would be the first place to go to get information about digital toolbox. This first link in particular is a really good one, and it's the thing link that we looked at together. So it has all the little dots that we can remember what each thing stands for. So you can go there first if you need help getting started. You have 5 guidelines for this project. Number 1, this is an independent project. You will work by yourself. So there is no reason during work time for you to be talking to anyone else, having conversations at all. Independent project, you are focused on your own work. Number 2, be original. Don't use the same wording as the resources. If you remember, that's plagiarism when we talked about that. If you're just using the same words as someone else, that's plagiarism. So you need to put it in your own words. Going along with that, number 3, you need to remember to cite your sources. None of us had an idea about what a digital toolbox was before we started looking at these resources. That means that you have to give credit to the people you got the ideas from. Even if you change their words, you still need to give credit. You can include that in your project somehow so that I know you got information from them. Guideline number 4 is to be on task. We have limited time with this project. Stay focused and make every second count. We only have a few work days before it's due. Because this is an independent project, it's going to be really important that you stay on task and use all the time you're given. Number 5, make sure you complete quality work and turn it in when it's done. If you turn it in early, you will have extra credit opportunities to work on. So I'm trying to encourage you to get things done quickly because we're pushing up against the end of the quarter. I don't want people turning in late work because grades will have already gone in and it's already winter break. So if you get it done early, that's excellent, and I will have an extra credit project for you to work on that's pretty fun. However, I'm also not encouraging you to rush through it and turn in something that's not quality work. I need to see that you took the time to really make it excellent and make it stand out. As I mentioned last week, you're going to have 3 project choices. So you have a lot of choice in this project because I'm not telling you what to make and I'm not telling you what to use to make it. I am only giving you some guidelines and giving you a topic. It has to be about digital toolboxes. It has to contain 10 objects and explain how those represent rules we need to remember for the internet. But You get to choose what you make. Your 3 choices are a comic, a video, or a short story or a blog post. So first, your comic needs to be at least 15 frames, and a frame is 1 box. So apps you could use might be Strip Design, Doodlecast, or Show Me. Again, I'm not telling you what app to use. If you have another app that you think would work better, you're welcome to use that. These are just suggestions. I have an example of a comic that I made. Obviously, this is only 3 frames, so it's not enough. You would have to make 15 boxes like this for it to be a good grade. And I said, I'm the digital toolbox superhero. I'm here to tell you about the tools in your digital toolbox. First, let me explain what a digital toolbox is. It's a bunch of tools that help remind us of the important rules about being a good digital citizen. First, you have a lock. The lock reminds us to keep our information secure by using strong passwords. Obviously, this wasn't long enough, but if it was, I would say it probably would get an 80%. There's not a ton of creativity. I used images I found online. If I wanted to take it to a level, I could put it in something where I could draw on it and I could add backgrounds. I could add things in the back, and then I could make it sound more interesting. Instead of her just giving the facts, I could involve other characters or make it more interesting. Your next project choice is a video. It needs to be at least a minute long. Again, there's several apps listed there that you can use. You could make a video using text and photos and music, or you could make a video with photos and you talking over it. You could also film yourself saying things about the different digital tools. That's up to you. You can choose what app you want to do. If you want to do a stop motion, you could do that. If you just want to draw on Doodlecast or Show Me and have a video that way, you can do that. Your last option is a short story or blog post. So I left it open that if you wanted to do a fictional writing like a story, or you wanted to do a nonfiction writing more like an essay, you could do either one. You can use any app that you want to write it in. If you'd like to make an illustrated book, I have a suggestion of you could use Doodlecast or Show Me, and then you could put a picture at the top and have a paragraph of text underneath and do some multiple pages that way. Okay, I thought you guys might be getting bored by now. So here is a brain break video. This is my dog's first time in the ocean on Thanksgiving.
That's like a good one. You can put that on the desk. How enforcement? I'll hold on.
So yeah, he was definitely not a fan of that. All right. On to the timeline and the rubric. Today is your introduction to the project, and you are going to have a work day for the rest of the hour. So once we are done with this video, you have the rest of the time to silently work on your own project. I encourage you to be extremely productive because you do not have a ton of work time. So being distracted today is only going to hurt your ability to turn in a great project. On Tuesday next week, it will also be a work day. We will do bell work. Then you will work the rest of the hour. Next Thursday, a week from today, is going to be a work day, but you will also be doing check-ins with me. So I'll be going around to talk to you individually about where you are on your project. That will be worth 20 progress points. So for example, what I'll be looking for is how far that you've shown some work already. So if you were working on a video and I sat down with you next week and asked you where you were at, and you said, well, I filmed my video and I'm working on editing it. I said, oh, it sounds like you're in a good place, 20 points. If you told me, well, I've written the script, but I haven't gotten started on filming it, you're pretty close. I can give you 18 points. If you told me, well, I'm still working on the script, it's only about halfway done, that's probably only 10 or 12 points. If you tell me, well, I have an idea, but I haven't really gotten anything on paper yet, I haven't gotten started on anything yet, that's going to be 5 or less points. So I'm looking for you to be at least halfway done or farther next Thursday when we have our check-in to get your full 20 progress points. Tuesday before winter break is our last work day. Your projects will be due at the end of the hour. So you will have the hour to work and they will be due at the end. The last thing we're going to talk about is our rubric. Your project is worth 40 points. We have 5 categories worth up to 8 points. First category is time management. This tells me that you used time well during each class period. You focused on getting the project done and did not distract others. So when I walk around the room, you're on task, you're doing your own thing, and you're not caring about what's going on around you. The next one is required elements. The project includes all required elements as well as additional information. I am requiring you to have 10 digital tools. So to get 8 points, you went above and beyond. You included 1 or 2 extra tools, or you gave really good explanations that were better than I asked for. The next category is design. To get 8 points, the project is exceptionally attractive in terms of design, layout, and neatness. So if you're doing a comic, the art looks like you took a lot of time with it. It's really easy to read. If you did a video, there was editing, there's a title and in credits. If you did a writing project, I can tell that you looked over it and there's no grammar and spelling mistakes. Next is explanation of tools. So this is every tool is explained in detail. It's clear and easy to understand. The last one is creativity. So the project reflects an exceptional degree of student creativity in their creation and or display. So again, I'm giving you choices about projects because I want you to pick something that you're really good at. If you're really good at art, I want you to choose a comic and draw something really awesome for me. You're getting these choices because I want you to show me what you're good at. And so I want to see that creativity come out. You can go ahead and get your iPads out now and go to my website, mrsnix.com. Again, go ahead and get your iPads out and go to my website. When you get to my website, I need you to click right here. It says click here for the Digital Toolbox project instructions. That's where you're going to click. When you click on that, it will bring you to the web page I just walked through. Check your resources first. When you feel like you've got a plan in place, go ahead and get started working on your project.